Well, we're back with TSPN and Al Bierce. Hi, Al. How are you doing today?
Good.
Well, you have a tax preparation program. Is it strictly for seniors?
It is not. I heard you talking inside on that other interview. This is a program that is for basically anybody low to moderate income with a special emphasis for seniors. So we want seniors, but probably 25% of the people we do taxes for are not seniors.
Okay. Do they have to be AARP members in order to get the service?
No, no. AARP just collaborated with IRS about 30 years ago on the program, so their name's on the program. They are a supporting financial partner in the program, but you don't have to be AARP.
Okay. And what can people come in and ask you for? If their income level is very high, can they get your services, or does it matter?
Well, we ask for sort of a lot of self-screening. If somebody phones and we ask the questions that we ask before we make an appointment, one of the questions that we do not ask is, how much do you make? So if somebody comes through the door that happens to have a $100,000 income, we're going to do their taxes, provided they don't have anything that puts them out of scope, which means that we can't do their taxes. One of the out-of-scope items is rental income. Okay. A lot of people with $100,000 income may have a rental property that would mean that we couldn't do their taxes anyway.
Why that limitation on the rental property?
There's actually limitations in about 20 areas. That's the most popular.
Okay.
And the reason is that the people who do the taxes, us, in my case for 11 years, but the people who do it, they get trained for a week, and the level of sophistication for the training is fairly comprehensive, but it's not as comprehensive as if you went to maybe an H&R Block and had the amount of training that they had. So they pick the particular areas that you're going to do the taxes in and don't provide training for the other areas. They indemnify you, and so they want to make sure that you're not doing something out of the scope of where you've been trained. So it's just a matter of how much training you've received and what you would be qualified to do. The system, the tax aid system, does everything. I do my taxes on the system. I can do anything I want. I have a rental property, so I can do it, but I'm not going to do it for somebody else because I don't want to make a mistake.
Right. Now, so it's more likely if somebody comes in with a big stack of information for taxes, they may not qualify if they're going in too many different areas of sophistication.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the volume, because sometimes people do come in with a lot of little receipts. For example, one of the things we do is if you have a single proprietor business, we'll do that. A lot of people bring in all their receipts so they can take all of the deductions. A lot of times we'll complete their taxes to a certain level, tell them to take it home, come back when they've sorted that out, and then we'll finish their taxes.
So being a senior and having a business doesn't preclude you from getting the service?
No.
Because you're...
See it quite often.
It may be a small business where you're not bringing in a lot of income. Yeah. And the other tax preparers, you mentioned you had 11 years background in tax preparation. Is that correct?
11 years with this program.
With this program,
yeah.
Okay.
We've got about 17 volunteers this year, and the range is all over the board in terms of the experience. We've got accountants, we've got people who've done taxes, got people like me who have never done taxes. I was a policeman for 30 years, just enjoyed doing taxes, mine and friends, and so this was a natural when I wanted to do some volunteering. So probably the majority of us did something in another field and have just learned and been part of this system.
Okay. What about new tax laws for 2012?
Actually, a pretty quiet year. We may have some bigger changes when we get to the tax year for 2013. People are familiar with the Making Work Pay that we had for a couple of years. It was a stimulus program. We don't have that anymore. This isn't really something specifically for 12, more to the point in 11, but a lot of people may not know about it. People were given incentives for new home buying in 8, 9, and 10. If they bought in 2008, they received up to a $7,500 loan. Well, they have to start paying it back. They have to start paying it back last year. Okay. So if anybody we're doing taxes for comes through the door and they bought a home in 08 and got that, we're going to be arranging for that deduction.
Now, we're going to run out of time here in just a second. We better tell people what they have to do to sign up for the tax aid service.
Okay, they phone the Senior Center. I think the number is going to be shown on the board. can phone anytime, starting right now. They talk to somebody at the Senior Center who will screen them, provide the information, weed out the people whose taxes maybe we can't do, and they will be assigned a date and time for their appointment.
And that'd be the appropriate time to figure out, they heard two of the new changes in the tax laws for 2012, but they could query the people and find out the rest at that
Yeah,
point.
most of the time they spend with them is telling them the things to bring in. If they're renters, information on the landlord, all of their income statements, last year's taxes, those sorts of things.
Okay, go to the Senior Center for the Tax Service, and Al, thank you very much for being here, and thanks for providing the service, too.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back with TSP, and I believe we're going to a break at this time.